like really the mastermind and the principles that we've learned have changed our lives, like our personal lives, our business. We've been teetering, starting our own business for the last year, and we took the plunge in September, and Ty quit his other job and we're all in. And since then, we more than doubled our income from what we were making once we jumped in. And we still have clients coming, and like it's spreading like wildfire. It's crazy to see our names like on Facebook being referred to people, and like, hey, Ty Cobb did my design work. You should go to him. And anyway, it's a lot of fun, and we're just getting started. So.
Awesome. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Ty. You don't have to. Don't feel pressured.
No, ditto.
Okay, awesome. I love it. Thank you, by the way. And what was the most recent win?
Our most recent win? Can I be pretty specific?
The more specific, the better.
Like we sent out an invoice for a job of a lady, like $6,800. Like that was half of her payment due. And that to us, like we never thought we would see that. But to have those types of clients coming to us is like amazing.
I should quit my job. That $1,200 or $12,000 sounds great right now.
He's worked his butt off. He's hours of work on the computer. I do the fun part. He used to sit there and do the work. So.
See, and I'll share too that. Thank you, by the way, for sharing that win. If you guys remember, we love to do power claps, and I know you're sick of the power clap, but let's give them a power clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. I'll share too that Ty is a bit of a workaholic, and in one of the most recent and last mastermind meetings, we actually talked to Ty about how his success will grow if he takes time away from work to go on daily walks and to give himself affirmations and just to do a few simple things that would take, less than a few minutes or at least 10 to 15 minutes a day. And just hear that you just build someone for half of 12 grand. That's amazing. So kudos and congratulations to you guys. That's really fun. I'm going to go in, what is that? Counterclockwise to my screen. I don't know what your screens look like. It's probably rearranged differently.
Clockwise in ours.
We're gonna move over to Emily Lloyd Nielsen, who's gonna share with us her greatest win in the past, I don't know, couple weeks or so. What's been your most recent biggest win?
My most recent biggest win is that I have had a VIP group on Facebook for my product, and I've hit over 100 members.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind me asking, how did you do that?
For a long time, I was stuck at like 95. And I would try to bribe my other members by having them add people to my group. And it just wasn't working. Then I went to the entrepreneur conference and got a couple people on there. And I had that goal set for October 31st, like the end of October, to be at 100. And so it was the day before, and I thought, I've got to get these too. So I went through my friend list and I added people again, and like 4 people accepted the invite finally. And so now I get to do a drawing and give it away. And I love giving away things because I feel like it helps me to make the connections with people.
Wow. Power clap for Emily on 3. 1, 2, 3. I love the delay.
Right?
That's my favorite. That's the social experiment, guys. I just want to see how off I am. Let's move down to Katie. Katie, what's one of the biggest wins you've had recently?
Yeah, so I am a massage therapist. Biggest thing is in September, I quit my job at the spa I was working at. So I'm full-time here now. And then biggest win as far as clients go, I had a client come to me recently who had been in pain for 5 years. And it was just one simple muscle that we found, and we got him out of pain in one session.
No way. So,
yeah,
okay. I love this. I love this because we're all in pain. You quit your job at a spa and you are now running your own practice as a massage therapist.
Right. Yeah. So I've been in business for about a year, but I was kind of leaning on the spa for all my income. So now I'm like, I just have to go all in. There's no other way.
And was it worth it? Was the jump worth it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Cause I was to the point where I was working too much at the spa and too much here. And so I was just like overworked. I didn't have the time or energy to put into the marketing. So it's been a really good thing.
Wow. Okay. And then the burning question that all 5 of us have is, are those tennis balls or lemons behind you?
Those are tennis balls.
Oh, they are. I knew it. I knew they were tennis balls. That's fantastic.
That's for self-massage.
Yeah. And I'm excited. I got your text yesterday, Katie, and I just hadn't replied yet. But I
Awesome.
won a half off discount for a massage.
She
So-
did. Come get it.
I know. I will. I just told my husband, I was like, she's the one who gave me a massage at the event, and I won a half off. I'll be coming
Yes.
in.
Perfect. Definitely redeem it.
Okay. Another clarifying question, because you guys are so interesting to me. I promise I'm not studying you. You're not my specimen. People and humans, it's so great to connect with wonderful people who are just thriving in their work. And I'm just so curious about Emily and Katie, and I can't wait to hear from Celeste too. But so is it just massage, or is it like, are you focused on the therapy side where this gentleman who you just helped with one session, is that more of your passion and focus, or do you also just take in massages?
So, I mean, my whole thing is give them the massage, obviously, because that's going to help short term. And then I am also a health coach. So that's like nutrition and stretching and exercise. And so I can give them a guideline for like, oh, you have shoulder pain. That could be from leaning forward all day. Let's get some exercises to bring your shoulders back and some stretches to stretch out your pecs. And so, yeah, I mean, massage is a very short term. You're not going to be out of pain forever if you get one massage. So that maintenance is very necessary.
I love it. So it's clinical in that because of your background in health, you can consult people on health transformation. That is so cool. Awesome.
Right. Thank you.
I'm really excited to learn more and to work with you about a little bit today on this. So awesome. Power clap for Katie on 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. All right, Celeste, it's your turn. Celeste, what's the biggest win you've had in the last while?
Ooh, the biggest win?
Yeah, the biggest.
Figuring out my next course to teach today.
Cool. Okay. And have you figured it out? Do you know what you're going to teach?
I do exactly. It was just putting together some of the nitty gritty, and I think I have that down, and that's been the last hour. So I think that's actually the biggest win.
That's awesome. And a follow-up question here, because I'm no stranger to questions, is what does the course entail?
It is a 12-week course using the natural flow systems of the universe to transform your life.
All cool
And it
things
covers,
that I want to know
it
about.
covers from you all the way through the cycle into prosperity. And what are the blocks along the way, and why it is showing up in your life the way it is, and where those blocks are also showing up in your health. And your health is an indicator of where it's showing up everywhere else.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for the explanation. I can't wait to learn more, Celeste. And I can't wait to dive into our mastermind a little bit more. So this will be really fun. I have burning questions that I can't wait to ask you later in the mastermind portion. So I'll get to that. But I can't wait to hear more about this. And this is going to be exciting. Everybody power clap for Celeste on 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll also share a win, and then we're going to move on to the next portion of our game. But the biggest win I had recently is I saved money. I saved money. And you ready for this? I saved money because every time I go into Barnes & Noble, I end up spending $500 or more. And so after 3.5 hours of spending time in Barnes & Noble, I walked out only spending $200, which is great. But I am happy to share that a few books that I walked out with, and I never read them before. This one was actually on the sales rack, which is my biggest problem is I go back to the sales rack and I find like the $8 and $10 and $12 books. And I'm like, oh, it's a bargain. They could be regularly $5.99 and put a $10 sticker on it and I'd still buy it. And anyways, I picked up this one. Celeste and a couple of my other friends introduced this to me, and I'm so naive to this stuff and I want to know more. So I got this book on chakras. I just wanted to learn more. I want to understand it. I believe in very tapping.
Oh, that's definitely part of the course and how it actually interconnects with the flow.
Cool. Okay. I should just take the course, but that would be something we gotta talk about, because that is a big, and Celeste, I think you and I talked about this, but I found this deal. It was Don Ruiz's The 4 Agreements. I don't know if you and I talked about this, but there was a deal on all 3 and 4 of his books, the 5th agreement. And so I bought this one. It's one of my favorite Mastermind books, but I never read so there's the 4 agreements, there's the Voice of Knowledge, and then there's the Mastery of Love. And then apparently there's a co-authored book called the 5th agreement. And so I was just like, you know what the heck? I want to get the whole package. So there we go. I saved money. That was my number 1 win. So, okay. No need for power clap for me because I think it's awesome. Let's move on. I want to play a game so that we can become closer. Now, here's the science behind what we do, you guys. And whether we're going to focus on science or not, here's the methodology. If we can have fun together without knowing too much about each other's lives, or without really knowing who we are, where we came from, what we did on our last birthday, without knowing what's typically happening in our lives, if we can have a little bit of fun, either raise our heart rates up or even just have that experience of laughing and smiling together, I can guarantee you that you walk away today and I struggled to say this because I was about to say inflamed, but I was like, that's not a really positive word, but I can say heightened or increased relationships, which I will defend till the end of the world, that your relationship capital is truly the measurement of how wealthy you are. And you know, other books, I could grab them if you want to move into Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, which I'll talk about later, is that we are typically the average of the 5 people who we spend time with. Now, that's an average. I'm not really big into average sciences, but I love the concept because wealth is often measured by who we know and how we know and why we know them and how we treat them. And so I'm really excited to get into that. But we're going to play a little game. It's very simple. It won't take too long. Lauren's going to love this. And we're going to play a little game of virtual rock, paper, scissors, right? Okay, this is going to be good. Little virtual rock, paper, scissors. And what we're going to do is we're going to play several rounds, okay? But what we're going to do is I'm going to pair you up and you two are going to go at it, okay? And when we go at it, we're just going to go typical child 10-year-old rules, okay? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And when you say shoot, you're going to either go rock, paper, or scissors, right? This is the, rock, paper, there you go, or scissors, there you go. This is scissors, this is rock, this is, no, just kidding. I still ended up with paper. Okay, we know the rules, right? Rock, paper, scissors. So rock, paper, or scissors. And we're gonna just have a little bit of fun here, but the purpose of this is honestly to see if we can figure out how to win, even in a weird virtual setting. We're in our seats, we're in our comfort of our homes or our offices, okay? We're gonna play a little bit of rock, paper, scissors. So the first lineup we're gonna have is Katie's gonna face up. So Katie, and Katie, tell me how to say your last name. Is it Weininger or Wininger?
It's Weininger.
Weininger, okay. Total side note, ADHD, but I lived in the Philippines for a few years, and the combination of NG is actually silent. And so whenever I see an NG together, I always have to like preface, is the G a hard G or is it a silent G? So I always have to ask, but say it one more time.
It's Weiniger. It's actually German, so it's like some random, I don't know.
So there's some grammatical rules that I'm not understanding here, but Weininger.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Katie is going to face Lauren. Lauren, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, coming to you all the way from American Fork, Utah. And you said you were in Holiday right now? Holiday, Utah. Katie versus Lauren on the count of three. I guess it's not count of three. It's rock, paper, scissors, shoot. So ready, all together. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors, scissors, tie. New one. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper beats rock.
I win.
Katie moves on. All right, Katie, take a break. Wipe off that sweat. We're going to move on. Emily versus Celeste. Here we go. Okay. Emily versus Celeste on the count of three. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors versus scissors. Tie game. Let's move on. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper beats rock. Celeste, you're still a winner. You're still a winner. Emily moves on. We will now have a face-off. Emily versus Katie. Emily versus Katie. Here we go. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper beats rock, and Katie wins the house. Okay. Everybody, round of applause for Katie. Awesome job. All right, now here's the deal. I'm no longer in charge.
Oh, no.
This is what's going to happen. Celeste is now in charge. Celeste, it's your turn to conduct the rock, paper, scissors game. I'm now a competitor, and you get to choose the matchups and call out rock, paper, scissors. You're in charge, Celeste. The floor is yours.
Okay. So, Jon versus Lauren.
Bring it on. Let's go.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Hey!
Not having luck today.
So who won that one? I can't see Lauren's.
That's okay. I won. Scissors beats paper and hair.
Okay. Emily versus Katie. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Paper, paper, tie.
Go again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock beats scissors. A rematch.
It does. So, Jon to Emily. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh. Scissors won.
I promise. I don't practice. I promise.
Whatever. You do.
Oh.
Oh, awesome. Okay, round 3. This is the final round. Already. We're now going to be placing Emily in charge. Emily, you are now in charge of the entire match. You can choose. Remember, you're in charge. You're the maker of this game. You can totally make it so that you're a winner. But what you can do is you can insert yourself in the game, or you can just call on others. It's up to you. But it is up to you. I'm turning the baton over to Emily. You are now in charge.
Okay, let's go Celeste and Katie.
Ooh, good matchup.
Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, Celeste! Katie falls. Okay. So let's do Celeste and Lauren this time.
Hey.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock beats.
Oh, Celeste, 2 in a row. Okay, Celeste and Jon. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And she wins again. Okay, now Celeste, you have to go against me.
Oh.
Here you go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ah. Here we go.
3 wins to be dethroned. Wow. Okay. Everyone on mute for a second. Let's talk about the game. Okay. Everyone hopefully had an opportunity. I heard Emily laugh. I saw Lauren laugh a little bit. I saw Katie smile, Celeste smile. I saw some interactions, but let's this is really nerdy, but let's dive in a little deeper than the surface level of a game. What did you feel while playing rock, paper, scissors with strangers? What did you feel while playing rock, paper, scissors with strangers?
Joy, fun.
Yeah? Why?
Connection.
Okay. We all yearn for that.
Talking about, talking about something besides just business.
Good.
Yeah.
I love it. Joy and fun. Anyone else? What did you feel?
Competition.
Competition. Lauren and I are the same brain. We're like, oh, we gotta win. That's so exciting. What else? What else did you feel?
Every time I would lose, I'd feel a little bit, aw, but then I'm like, hey, yay, someone else won. So.
Emily is such a team player. She's competitive, but she loves that other people are competing. That's fun. That's exciting. And I love when Celeste or Emily was in charge. Emily had Celeste win 3 rounds, and then she wanted to challenge the winner, and then she won. She set it up so that she could win. I think that's really cool. Anything else? Anything else you felt while playing rock, paper, scissors? Here's my next question. What could we learn from a simple game of rock, paper, scissors? Lauren, what was your strategy other than just pick something? What was your strategy in winning?
I had 0. That's why I lost every time.
You what?
I had 0. That's why I lost every time.
But what was your strategy? Like, what did you try to do?
I just decided to do a different one each time.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. What could we learn from that? What if we showed up to work every day and we tried a new strategy every day? How successful are we going to be?
Not successful.
Why do you say that?
Because you have to give time for it to be proven to work or not. You have to let it weigh out the consequences, good or bad.
So in the first round we played, Celeste actually lost her match. But in the last round, Celeste won every single match up until the last one. Celeste, what was your strategy and how did you win so much?
I didn't have a strategy.
No strategy. You just went in and had fun?
Yeah.
I
There
love it.
wasn't a strategy. There wasn't any pre-thought. It was like, okay, what comes next? And whatever came next, came next.
So you're saying that you were rolling the dice on every turn and you picked either a different or a new one, or you just picked whatever came to your mind and odds ruled out and you had a winning streak because of it.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Okay, I promise you're not my suspects. I'm just learning. I'm learning. And I'm curious too, Katie, what about your strategy helped you win 50% and lose 50%?
Nothing. I had no strategy. Mine was similar to Lauren. I just like, oh, that one didn't work. Move on.
Okay.
Next strategy.
So it didn't work. You move on to the next one. It either worked or it didn't. If you liked it, you maybe did it again, maybe didn't, but it was still trying to, okay, cool. I love that. Emily, anything on your end? Why? I am curious. You wanted to insert yourself and you had a 50-50 winning streak as well. What was your strategy?
I don't know. 2 things come to mind. Maybe one was to get, because I didn't know that Celeste was going to win every one of them, right? I was going to play the winner of whoever beat, the top, right? And so part of me is like, well, maybe I got Celeste tired, and so that I was able to win because of that. I can't remember what the other thought I had was with it. Oh, to challenge myself. Oh, this person's beat 3 people. Can I beat her? That sort of thing.
Oh, I love that. I got to write that down. Awesome. Okay, cool. I'll share with you guys just briefly, and then we'll move on. I promise. No more rock, paper, scissors. Some of you are like, come on, John, what are we doing here? I got work to do. Here's what I thought. So 2 things that came to mind. The first one that helped me the most is confidence. Hey, I won when I jumped in with some excitement and some confidence. It wasn't about beating the person across from me. It was that I'm just going to win. I'm going to move in there. I'll even throw my hand down before they do and pick my thing so that in case the internet lags, they can see mine and pick something else to beat it, but they didn't. And so confidence ruled out first. That's why I had a winning streak, but then I lost because my confidence went only so far for me to realize that, you know what? Confidence will take you only to an extent, but then you've got to take that confidence and that learning opportunity and figure out what else you're missing in order to continue the winning streak. So that was what I took away from it. But again, it's just a simple game, guys, of rock, paper, scissors. Don't get so serious about it. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. All right. So moving on. So we've had a little bit of fun. We've laughed a little bit. We've cried. We've sweated a little bit, and we're having some fun. Luckily, no blood was shed, but we're going to focus on the next piece. And before we jump into our mastermind, now that we've kind of, and I hate saying it this way, but we've broken the ice, right? We've had a little bit of an icebreaker. We don't really, in the words of Katie Weininger, is that we have had some joy and some fun together. And when you couple those 2 together, some amazing things can happen. So I'm going to share my screen for just a second. And I'm going to, hopefully this will pull up the way I want it to. Yes. Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen for just a second. And you notice this Google Doc. I'm just going to highlight this top part. And I'll walk you through some of these things. But these are the things that we want to talk about today. So the first piece is, what is my greatest challenge in business? Maybe for some of you, it's getting more clients, okay? Or it's marketing or managing your books or what, I don't know what it is. And maybe if you recall back to the conference we met at, maybe it's the same thing. Maybe it was, in fact, I actually have this really cool power where I can go back to a document I created and I took personal notes. And Katie, if you're not comfortable with me sharing this, then I will not share it. But she said sales conversions. Cool. And then we have Celeste. Celeste, you mentioned that your greatest challenge in business was direction for actionable steps. Cool. And then Emily, you said that your biggest challenge was, ooh, this is interesting, trusting myself and others. And then Lauren, you said, I'm a winner and nothing else matters. I'm just kidding. She didn't write anything down. Just kidding. She didn't write anything down. These were on the cards you guys shared with me.
Yeah.
And thank you, by the way, for filling those out. But I just want to ask you today, what is your greatest challenge? What is your greatest challenge in business? And take a second to write that down. And we will move on really quickly because I want to get to masterminding with you guys. But then we're going to talk about some things. Now, skip this middle part here where it says, why is it so easy? Just skip it for a minute. We'll talk about that later. But some of the solutions that we seek in life include what I call profits, okay? And the profits to me is an analogy. It's an acronym. And profits consist of the P, which is people. That's like referrals, maybe more customers to come in and get, massages, or having more people join your Facebook group, or getting more people to enroll in your course, right? Okay, so that's what people stands for. Resources stands for physical resources. And Grammarly wants me to put in help or aids. Apparently that has a lot of, I don't know what that has to do with, I guess it does. Okay, they're talking about helping. Got it. Resources. So resources could be physical resources like paper, books. I was about to pick up a brick, but I don't have one. So bricks, actual physical resources or products, things that you need access to. Okay, that's another one. Opportunities could be in the form of events, introductions, anything that's kind of a spark that will take you from point A to point B. So opportunities in your life, that could lead to the answers that you need to overcome the biggest challenges in business. The next one could be funding. It could be funding, any form of funding, whether it's just need more money, need more profits, could use an investor, could not use an investor, could use legal terms to get out of my investor. It could be needing, more money to have time to do Facebook ads or marketing or whatever it is that you're looking for, right? So that's funding, just any form of cash or what I like to call resources that are of value in a financial realm. So they don't always have to be physical dollar and coin or virtual dollar and coin. They can be other things that you can trade for. Yes, even bartering. Trading is a huge deal to me. Technology is just, softwares or anything techie or physical. Like here's my nice little blue microphone, blue snowball. Things that will help you with your business that you don't have currently. Maybe it's a new massage table that is going to allow you to do things you can't do on a regular table. Maybe it's improving the computer in which I do my broadcasts or the filming equipment in which I do my course material. Whatever it is, it could be a technology piece. And then the last one is systems. So I believe every outcome is a compilation and a series of systems. And so if your systems are true, if they're working systems, then your outcomes are exactly as you planned or as you want. But if your systems aren't there, then you're probably not experiencing the outcomes you most desire. So systems are really important. So if it's just literally like engineering, mapping out or planning out your systems, then that's another piece. So I'm going to stop sharing here for just a minute. So that's called profits. I call it the Connect to Profits acronym. And I actually got that from a mentor of mine. His name's Levi McPherson. And Levi taught us that there are profits in everything we do. We just need to find and identify which profit channel, whether it be one of the 6-7 options here, which profit channel you need most. So if you weren't able to answer this question really easily, you didn't really know what your biggest challenge in business was, hopefully this sparked what you need today. Okay. So as we share that, I'm going to go back to our regular screen and see your beautiful faces. We're going to move into our mastermind portion. And let me just briefly teach you how to do this. And we're going to run it through. Lauren is extremely talented and skilled at the way I run my masterminds and the way I like to teach them. So she's going to help me out a little bit. Now, Lauren, I have my paddles. You don't by chance have yours, do you? Oh, you're muted.
They're in the bag with
Okay.
Callie.
No worries. So I will be in charge of paddles. Okay. You guys are like, what are paddles? Are we going to get spanked? No, I'm just kidding.
We're not that kind of network group.
It's physical. It gets physical. So let me teach you a little bit about the mastermind. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually turn on a time clock. And each person is going to have approximately 10 to 12 minutes. And in that time frame, I want you to read aloud what your greatest challenge is. And then in that time, we will also jump in as a group or a compilation of professionals willing to help that individual. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask clarifying questions, if there are any. If it's as clear can be, then we're going to jump right into what I call the counsel portion. And we're going to help each other. We're going to jump in, share resources. Now, I want to invite you. This is a safe space. This is an incredible environment. You have been introduced to awesome, amazing people who are really competitive and good at rock, paper, scissors, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to now help each other. And in the 12 minutes, I want to just kind of let you all counsel each other. I'll jump in, you jump in, and I want you to do everything from share awesome resources to connecting you to people. And you don't have to make the actual connection now. We can do it in the chat section, or we can connect each other so that then we can follow up and start connecting with that person via text, phone, email, or whatever source you'd like. Or maybe it's, I have an opportunity for you. I'd like to make an introduction. I'd like to send this to you. This is the part where we get to be completely selfless. And let me just show you how when you give to others willingly, that you will actually receive more in return. I can show you how this is going to work. I learned that from the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. When you give and give and give, I was always afraid that if I gave so much that there were going to be takers who would take and take and take and never give back. But the truth is the more that I gave, the people who were willing to give back, or the people who were willing to make the world come full circle for me, were the ones who stuck around. The takers, they never stick around. They take and then they run. So I want you to know that this is a safe environment for you to give, 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 and give. And watch as the more you give, the more you shall receive. So that's how it's going to go down. I mentioned paddles. No one's going to get spanked except for me, because sometimes I do this. I have to hold this card up. This is kind of a crazy train. We call it the blue train. If you see this paddle, it's just me reminding you that this is not a place for storytelling. This is not a place for, therapy sessions, or this is not really a place for us to get into topics that might take someone else's time from obtaining or accepting resources and opportunities from counsel. Instead, I'm just going to politely hold this one up and say, hey, great thoughts. Let's kind of get back to what we're discussing so that we can help this person within their time frame. Okay. And then I put this one on the back. This is not an official paddle, but I just put a laugh sign because sometimes my jokes are lame. And if you don't laugh, I'll just hold this up so we can all laugh together. Yeah, it makes me feel better. The next one is this. This is a time clock. This just is an awareness to let us know there's about 1 minute left in our discussions, and it's time to wrap it up, because at the end of our 10 to 12 minutes, I'm going to ask you, and I'll probably just cut you off, and I'll say, okay, out of the items that you've received from everyone in the group, what's one thing you're going to take action on? What's one thing you're going to do between now and the next time I see you, or the next time we meet? And let's just hope that we get to see each other in a month, because I'd love to have you guys all back in a month. So that's that time. And then this one's just a brief stop. Okay, so let's go. Let's walk through the scenario, guys. If you're crossing the road, okay, you're in the middle of an intersection and you see the light go from here to here, do you just stop in the middle of the road? Yes. No, you don't stop in the middle of the road. You finish your walk, right? You quickly get to the other side. Same thing. If I hold this up, this doesn't mean just stop in your tracks and, you hold your breath. This is just wrap up what you're saying, because we're going to move on. So there you go. So there are the paddles. This is Crazy Train. I gave Lauren one. Lauren has one where it's actually got a squirrel on it, because I got ADHD if I didn't make that unknown. And so we like to do squirrels. Here's just a 1 minute timer. And then this just means wrap up the conversations, quickly cross the road before we get hit. And let's move on to the next conversation. So while I pull up my timer, I'd like to ask Lauren, could you please, on a piece of paper, write down the order of which you would like to call on our new friends and individuals to go into the opportunity chair.
Sure.
And while you do that, here's what I want you guys to remember, is that all you have to do is, when it's your turn to sit in the opportunity chair, we are going to come together as a council, and we're going to counsel for you. We're going to help you. We're going to coach you. We're going to consult for you. But all you have to do, this is the best part, all you have to do is sit there and just say thank you. If we have clarifying questions, obviously simplify and help us understand. But all you really have to do is just say thank you. You can write down. You don't have to write down. You can just sit there and take it all in. It's up to you to do what you think is best for you. But our counsel is here to hope and suggest and give you ideas. And so this is a brainstorm mastermind on steroids to help you get an influx and a mouthful of resources and ideas and options in a very, very short amount of time. Okay, so while you're writing that down, I'm going to pull up my time clock. Boom, boom, boom. Love it.
Okay, I actually have my little whiteboard that we use for homeschool.
Hey, I love it. All right, so I got my time clock here. I'm going to put 10 minutes. Oops, there we go. And then I'm going to have let's go back. 2 minute clock.
This is backwards for you guys, huh?
It's not. I learned that about Zoom. It looks backwards to you, but it's not actually.
Okay.
There's actually a little setting you can go into in your profile in Zoom and change the mirroring, turn it off. I know, I had to find it. It's not easy teaching music classes when it's backwards.
I bet. My daughter does a lot of her IEP help on Zoom. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, are you ready for this? You want to see how cool and technical I am? Hey! Except for that says 10 seconds, huh? We need a 10-minute timer. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, we are going to start with the one, the only, Celeste Allred. Celeste, you are up first. I'll start the timer. Take a second and just tell us what your greatest challenge in business is right now. And then we'll jump in and have some clarifying questions. And then we will also provide as much counsel to you as we possibly can in the next few minutes. Let's help you, and let's help you find some incredible resources. And remember, Celeste, this is your opportunity to be pretty selfish. You get to, this is all about you and your business, but also your chance to just be grateful. Okay. Be grateful for the opportunity that you're about to have a shower of resources and counsel poured to you. So I'm really excited to have this happen. So Celeste, you are up. Tell us a little bit about your challenge.
Directionable action steps and branding is actually where I'm stuck at.
Okay, so repeat that one more time. You said directional steps.
Action steps and branding.
All right. All right. Perfect. I love how simple it was. Do we have any clarifying questions? Emily, Katie, Ty, myself, Lauren, do you guys have any questions that would help us clarify? The first clarifying question I'll ask is, what are you currently doing for branding?
I don't really have it.
Perfect. No problem at all. Awesome. Any other clarifying questions?
Do you have a business name?
I do have a business name. It's Sasha Consulting.
Sasha Consulting.
Bank accounts, legal with the state, the whole 9 yards, and paying taxes on it for almost 12 years now.
Wow, awesome. So you've got tax history, which allows you to do a bunch of really good things. Awesome. Okay, any other clarifying questions before we can just jump on? Go ahead, Katie.
Do you have long-term goals for your business?
Surviving mostly.
I love it.
Totally feels that way.
Celeste, what does surviving,
Especially this year.
what is kind of your, and you don't have to share this if you don't feel comfortable, but what's kind of your, if surviving was the long-term goal, what is a good financial monthly income number that would help you to be satisfied with that goal of survival plus growth and progress?
It's about 10 grand a month.
10 grand a month. Cool. And again, another clarifying question is, what would 10 grand a month look like in the number of clients? Let's start there, in the number of clients.
I have not done the math on it because I need to shift a bunch of stuff.
Okay, that's fine. That helps me with my counsel as well. One other question for you is, if it's not clients, number of clients, how many hours do you want to put in a week that would equate to 10 grand a month?
I have about 20 hours a week I can put in. 10 would be optimal.
10 would be optimal. Okay, that's good. That's a good goal. So this is really cool because, and I don't know if this is fate. I don't know if this is just the universe responding, but you've got Katie Weininger in this room, and Katie knows how to run a clinic that that is able to keep its lights on because of the number of clients that are coming in, right? And you know a little bit about pricing and structure, but you probably also have the ability to say, you know what, if I don't feel like working 60 hours a week, I can hire out, or I can find ways to do what I do in a simpler, better time frame so that I only have to work 20 hours or 40 hours, whatever it is. So you've got that. And I know Emily's got a lot of experience with what she does. And so let's open it up for counsel time. Who have any ideas, thoughts, suggestions, counsel for Celeste at this time?
Okay, so first of all, with goal setting, so I work with a business coach, and the number one thing is to set long-term goals, because you can't have directional action steps if they're not going towards a direction. So I think number one step is to get specific with your goals. So everything that Jon just said to you, so like what's your income that you're looking towards? How many clients is that for you? How many people on your course is that for you?
I love that. And I'm going to add to Katie's thoughts there. And I'm just going to say, I think we've already started to structure that out, Celeste. Just identify if you were able to backtrack, if you took $10,000 and you did just a little bit of math here and said, okay,
Yeah, I just haven't done the math yet.
Okay, cool. And let's just pretend for a minute, big numbers. Let's say each one of your clients for what you do pays you, let's just say, just for simplicity of numbers, pays you $1,000 a month. All you need is 10 clients to work with. And the average client should probably only take about half hour to an hour a week, right?
It's about an hour.
About an hour per session, you'd say?
It's actually closer between an hour to 2 hours per session.
Okay, cool.
To actually dig in and really figure out what's going on and have the time to do it.
Okay, cool. And if that's the case, then we just got to do a little bit of adjusting on our math here, that you could probably adequately see 5 clients at 2 hours a piece a week in order to get to 10 hours. That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, then you could do it. You could do it. You could see all 10 clients a week to get your 20 hours in. And you could see them either weekly or you could see them monthly, and you could quadruple your goal if you had 10 clients a week. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I like simple math. And sometimes I have to count my fingers. If I can count them on my fingers, we're good. So I like simple math. But anyone else have suggestions or counsel for Celeste? I love Katie's idea. Get simple on your goals, have a long-term goal, and just kind of equate what you need and what specifically you need to do to reach your goal. And that sounds like working 10 to 20 hours a week, making 10 grand. That's pretty good. Like, that's a really good, solid goal.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about your branding question. As far as you said, Sasha Consulting, it doesn't tell me what you do. I mean, consulting can be a bazillion things, and the things you listed, it sounds like you do a bazillion things, right?
That was part of the problem.
Yeah. Maybe, so when I was coming up with my business name, I actually went to a word list of words that fit my personality. So I've been following the system. It's got 4 types of people. Anyway, she's got a word list. And one of the words on my list was pixie. And I thought, trying to work that in. So is there a way that you could find a list of your personality traits that you could match up with a thesaurus or something to that effect, to try to make a name for yourself that's more illustrative of what you have, what you offer for people?
Where I'm at now is I just want to keep the business name and then break it down into more cutesy programs that are catchy. We'll just keep the business name and go. A lot of businesses do that, and that's where I found that as I've been working with the structuring and stuff, I don't want to lose the 12 years of business history. I would just prefer to negate down.
Is it something that, yeah, is it something you need the Sasha Consulting out there, or is that something you can just keep all of your paperwork under? You know what I mean?
More keeping the paperwork under is how it's currently set up.
Yeah, that's how mine is too.
Currently, I am the brand versus the brand being the business.
Love that.
To add to that, it's just like, so you want to break it down into individual things, but then you need to be able to tell people what you're doing, right? So then it's not necessarily the name, but just communicating what you're doing, I think is key, no matter what name or what your brand looks like.
And that's also part of the challenge, is explaining what I do.
Right.
Awesome. And I think you're right, Celeste. I think the biggest challenge isn't explaining what you do, but it's structuring and having those goals first. And so I really think getting clear on that. By the way, you should connect with Ty and Lauren. They're really good at helping people come up with, and I'm sure you already have this stuff, but branding that goes along with your name, what you do, the messaging that goes behind it, as well as like logos and design. They're really good at that stuff, and they help me create a lot of what we do. They're awesome at it. So I would personally have you connect with Ty and Lauren so that they can help you kind of expand that branding look so that you can reach more people. And I also want to share a few more ideas and thoughts, but before that, I wanted to see if anyone else had some connections, thoughts, or ideas or counsel.
I was just going to say, let's chat. That was, because we can help you have your umbrella and then have your branding fall under that, your general brand, and then each category under that. How to make it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, is breaking it down into the smaller pieces.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, I put 2 minutes on the clock. I'm going to give myself the 1 minute marker here, just so we have a reminder. That I will wrap up my thoughts in the time frame. But this has been a lot of good information, Celeste, and I think that one of the most important things right now is focus on what exactly you want. 2 things I want to share with you. This is coming from one of my favorite books, Think and Grow Rich. It's simplified, and I can send you all a copy of this. You don't have to write this down. But this is the statement of desirability. And in the statement of desirability, we have a couple things you have to answer, which is the exact amount of money I desire for you would be 10 grand a month. I intend to give blank for, in return, the money that I desire. And then there's several plans of actions to do it. And I'll share that all with you later, but it just helps to be clear on your goals and what you want to accomplish. So that's suggestion number 1. Suggestion number 2 is that once you are completely clear on what your long-term goals are, and you have an idea of what branding you want, it sounds like you have an idea of keeping the business name and going from there. Again, you are your brand. A brand isn't this separate thing from you. You become your brand. So as I have become this guy who talks about masterminds need to always be the first thing or association of things that people think of when they come to Jon. So same thing to you as people come to you. And I loved Emily's idea. And if everyone could do me a favor, and if you could write down one observational trait about Celeste and put it in the chat section, that would be awesome. I wrote down 2. I put healing and holistic. And if you guys can think of any other traits that you can think of about Celeste that might spark that idea, Celeste, you can go to, and I'm going to give myself the stop here, so I'm going to cross the road as I finish, but you can go through to a thesaurus or a couple of resources and just see what trigger words, and I call them trigger words because they're the ones that get people to turn their heads, right? Those are the trigger words you're going to want to focus on as you kind of work on branding yourself and what you do to others. And so just remember that a brand isn't necessarily a marketing tactic or a business, but branding is you. It's being you to other people. And so when you're at your best, What do you want people to say? What do you want people to think? I love it. Katie says energetic and spiritual. I love that. Emily wrote get things done. I love that too. So I hope that those spark some ideas. I'm going to make myself shut up and I'm going to say, Celeste, congratulations. You just finished your first Champion Circle Mastermind session. Now we're going to turn all of this back on you and say, Celeste, out of all the great information that Emily, Katie, Lauren, and myself were able to share with you, what stood out to you, and what's at least one thing that you can focus on right now and take immediate action on?
I need to break down the math on the classes and stuff and refigure it all from where I had it and readjust it for different goals.
Cool. Getting down to basics is awesome. Everybody
I didn't have time before the mastermind to do it. It was
you're fine. No,
all this evening stuff to do while I'm relaxing, dealing with children.
You're awesome, Celeste, and we can all agree on that. And you're on track, and whether you felt prepared or not, you did awesome. This was a really good thing. I hope this was helpful because honestly, when I get into the hustle and bustle of work and business, when I just take a step back, look at the whole picture and say, I need to simplify, it does so much more for me every single day than looking at this thing, which is I need X and I don't know how to get there from A, right? So that's really, really important. So let's all give a power clap to Celeste on 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. I tried to delay like half a second and I still went first. So that's hilarious. Awesome. Thank you so much, Celeste. And I'll share this a little bit more with you guys later, but we do have an accountability system. So, I mean, you're here today. I'd love to follow up. So Celeste, I'm going to follow up with you and I'd love to help you break down the numbers and get into the nitty gritties. Cause that just sounds fun and interesting to me. I'm a spreadsheet guru. And so I love jumping in and just learning, the financials of someone's business and figuring out how to make that system work for them. So I'd be happy to help out on that side. Awesome. Okay, Lauren, who do we got next?
Emily.
All right, everyone, give it up for Emily Lloyd Nielsen. I'm going to put 10 minutes on the clock. Tell us what your biggest challenge is right now.
Okay, so my biggest challenge, I think, comes in the trusting myself and trusting others. Putting myself out there as follow-up is my biggest thing with follow-up. So when I do show people my product and it's all very exciting and they love it and then they wear it and then they go home and because they've bought some and then they love it. But I'm always afraid to take that next step to follow up with them and see how they're going because I don't want to hear that they had problems that I can't fix. And so I don't trust that I know myself or the product well enough, which I do. But anyway, it's all that trust. So
interesting. Okay, I have a myriad of questions, but before we jump in, could you take 30 seconds and just describe to us the products that you sell?
Sure. It's 100% nail polish that is in strips. It's mostly dry. The bottom's a little bit wet, and that's what goes on the fingernail. So there's no special tools and no heating or adhesives involved.
Now, obviously, I wear a ton of makeup, and a lot of my nails are painted. So I'm naive to this, but I love learning. In my example from stage, I told you we worked with a young girl who made synthetic dreadlocks. And so I know the hair industry a little bit. But did you invent this? Is this your product, or is this something that you've been able to take from another product line and you're selling it on your own?
So it was created by a man named Fa Park, okay. And he is from Korea, and he has decided to set it up as a multi-level marketing. Because women are really great at sharing what we love with each other. And so I've been able to take that and put it in as my own business.
Yes, I love the business strategy. I love the idea, and I love the I love that there's a backing so that you will always have a place where you can go and grab more product. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Those were my clarifying questions. Does anyone else have any clarifying questions for Emily?
What are you doing now for follow-up? Are you following up with them at all, or are you just hesitant to? Are you doing an email system, anything like that?
I think I hope that they join my VIP group and then they just kind of feel comfortable enough to mention something that I can help them with. I had a big event in August and I did put in all of their emails and texted them, all got responses from a few, and so that was my big win as far as follow-up goes. But I haven't continued on that with the past 2 events that I've had. So.
And do you have a place for people to leave you reviews?
I don't.
Even like a Facebook page or anything like that?
I have just my VIP group.
Okay.
And so I don't know. The one thing about the multi-level marketing is there's a lot of policies and procedures that we have to be careful with. So I can't like sell on Facebook Marketplace, and I can't have my own website that is separate from the company website. So.
Okay.
I have a quick question. Oh, sorry. I'll wait for you to get done, Katie.
Go ahead, Katie, and then I'll introduce Gina.
Okay, perfect. Can you set up a Facebook page, not a group, but just a page? Because I know you can leave reviews on those.
Possibly.
Like
I'd have to look into
page.
that.
Okay.
That's a good point, Katie. Okay, everybody, just so you know, one of my other dream team members, and she's literally my boss. She gets to tell me what to do. Her name's Gina. Gina's joined us from her iPhone, spelled with an F. Gina, what's up?
Sorry, I came late. I'm dealing with some bunch of family stuff going on,
Fine, Gina.
which is also why you can't see my face because I've been crying all day, and that will not be happy for anyone. So, but the point is, question: have you had bad experiences before? Like, why are you afraid of this? I hear a lot of like, I don't know, and kind of a lot of doubt in your voice about this. Why are you afraid that you're not going to be able to solve someone's problem?
I think it's a childhood thing, right? I've always been more of the bubbly here, there, let's go have fun and do that. And my mother was much more of a get things done and get it. Not that she wasn't fun and bubbly too, but it just, she was a very strong personality. And my younger sister is also that way. So I always have felt like the word isn't stupid, but it's kind of stupid, right? Like I'm afraid that people will think my ideas are stupid and and not worth considering.
Okay, so one of our partners and good friends at Champion Circle, his name's Levi, and he does this thing where he talks about if you want to pivot, if you want to make a change in your business, you need to go back to the furthest point you possibly can and figure out what exactly it is you need to change in order to make that pivot. I don't know if that makes sense. It would work better if I had a whiteboard, but it sounds like in this instance, and the same thing happened to me, but it sounds like in this instance, this is like you need to change some things in yourself in order to have your business thrive. And I went through the same exact thing. I had some childhood trauma with my stepdad, and I went through this thing called the freedom exercise, which was it was one of the coolest things I've ever gone through. And I would need to get permission or whatever, but I'm thinking that I think we need to put together a freedom exercise weekend and have people come to it, because that something we've been talking about, Levi and Lauren and I have been talking about, and John been talking about for a while, and we just need to get it done, because it's things like these I hear come up a lot with women in business, with everyone in business, but I feel like there's always some childhood something. I mean, I am like the biggest like testament to this. Like I did this, and anyway, it just frees up so much when you're done with it. It's literally called the freedom exercise. And that is something I feel like everyone needs and everyone could benefit from, but it definitely sounds like this is something you specifically could. In the meantime, I would suggest write down a system, get a system down, because if you have something like every single time you get a customer, okay, what are the steps in place? You're going to do this and this and this and this. If you have it all written down as a system, it's going to be a lot easier to follow than like, oh, I don't know if I should, or I don't know if I can, or like you're going to have to be giving yourself a lot of permission to do this in order to thrive, to follow up, because follow up is huge in any business, but especially in this one, especially if it's a, because with nails, I get my nails done all the time, but that's something that women want. Right. And if they have a good experience, they're going to want more of it. And especially like, I feel like now is a good time for that because of COVID and blah, blah, blah. No one really wants to go anywhere. Like that would have been a great solution for me when I was stuck in my house and couldn't go to the nail salons. I didn't even know about it. So, anyway.
Thank you, Gina.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a really great resource. There's about a minute left in our council. Lauren, what do you have to add?
Sorry, I'm aching
it looks like
to
Celeste
say it.
has stuff too. So we'll go Lauren, then we'll go Celeste.
So I think I'm familiar with your product. Is it Color Street?
It is.
Okay. So I have 3 daughters. We use Color Street. Anyway, what would be helpful, and if you recorded a video showing the steps of how to apply them, because my first time buying them, just reading the instructions, I was applying them with that plastic film still on top.
Mm-hmm.
And then I couldn't figure out why it looked so funny. Anyway, my sister-in-law was like, do you need help over there? Because you're totally doing this wrong. Oh, but if you did little videos for your VIP group and just when somebody purchases, say, hey, is it okay if I add you to my group? You can get some tips and things like that on how to apply, and you can get my updates there. Okay. Just kind of do an automatic follow, like, hey, I'm going to add you to my group now. Thanks for purchasing.
Okay.
So.
Awesome. I'm going to put on a 2-minute timer, and I'm going to give some counsel. Katie or Celeste. Oh, go ahead, Celeste. You jump on in. Oh, Celeste, you went unmuted. Let me try to unmute you. There you go.
So if you want to send me a message.
Oh, I didn't catch the first part though.
This is actually something that I help people work through, is these emotional blocks. So if you'd like, send me a message.
Perfect. We got somebody who can actually guide you physically through this experience, which would be fantastic.
Yep, that's what I do.
Thanks, Celeste. That's so great. Again, the universe responds. You guys signed up for this. I didn't. I'm glad you guys are all here to meet each other. You guys have all been super helpful. Let me just take the next minute and a half here and just share with you some of my thoughts and resources too. First of all, I hope that I can share a physical and a logistical resource, and as well as a theoretical resource. Let's start with a theoretical. Emily, I love what Gina and Celeste had to say. And I want to add to that because I want to try and switch a paradigm here in just a second. I sense and hear fear and a little bit of hanging on to people pleasing, and a little bit of just some things that you've been struggling with for a while. And I'm wow, all we did was play rock, paper, scissors. So I'm super grateful that you were willing to share that with us in this environment. So thank you. And I really hope you felt the love and trust in this circle. Now, what I'll say is, if we can change, no one wants to dwell in that feeling for forever, right? No one wants to be in that for even long term. And so if we can change our mindset from fear, anxiety, and what did I write down? Inadequacy, and turn that into fun and service. You are the kindest, bubbliest, the sweetest smile. You have the cutest pixie cut. You are so amazing. right? You have all these incredible things. You are probably like, if there were companies, and I'll wrap my thought up here. If Macy's was hiring a door greeter or somebody who is going to be like the face of their company, who's going to greet clients or potential buyers who came in the door, they would hire Emily because she has the cutest, kindest, bubbliest, sweetest face, and she'll make them feel like they're at home. And so if you could do that every single day, you would be in absolute la la land, because you're not people pleasing, but you're serving other people. You're helping people. And that's what you're really good at. And so what if you could change this from thinking about people pleasing and a little bit of fear, inadequacy, and answering the right questions? And what if, even if you don't know, what if you were able to say the words, look, I don't know the answer, but I can help you with this. We can get you more strips. We can get you more options. I can show you through a tutorial video how I like to put them on. I can get you set up with our customer service platform. I can do whatever I can, but I'm just going to do this because, one, I'm having fun, and I'm the best greeter. I'm the best service provider that I know, right? If you could just change your mindset from thinking that way to, I really like serving people. It's so much fun to be who I am. And if you could do that, it's a complete paradigm shift, because all you're doing is switching from people pleasing to, I'm serving people. I'm really good at it. So start thinking along that line. There's coaching 101 from Jon. He doesn't know anything. He's not clinical or licensed or anything, but there's just a suggestion. Okay. Find a way to get rid of the fear and focus on the fun. You're so good at what you do, so have fun doing it. All right, this is the other piece. I'm going to go back to what Katie said earlier. Is I want you to go, I'm sure you can reach through your phone. I'm sure you can go back to previous clients, but I want you to text 10 people. Text them today. Text 10 people and ask them for a testimonial. Just say, hey, would you be willing to just highlight me for a second and say some kind things about how I helped you with your nails, or with the process of going through color sheets? Could you just write some nice things? And they could be one sentence, they could be a paragraph, or they could be like 2 words. But whatever these people respond, you're going to screenshot those, okay? And what you're going to do is, on Facebook, either your page, or like Katie was saying, if you have a page or if you have a group, you can pin posts to the top of the group. And so what I want you to do is, I want you to post those screenshots, and I want you to pin them to the top of either your Facebook page, your profile, or your group, so that people can scroll through the pictures and see what other people are saying about you and what it is to work with you. Easy, done. That's the simplest, quickest, easiest way to have a testimonial.
Okay.
And I really liked Katie's suggestion, because that's gonna speak outwardly about you, and people can just see how bright, bubbly, fun, and exciting and relevant you are, because you've got testimonials from your phone. Like, that's a really cool way to do it. So that's what I highly suggest. Okay, I was way over my time limit. I'm gonna give myself the blue train and the stop, but I appreciate you guys, bearing down and listening to that for a second, because, again, have fun and do something simple. Give yourself some testimonials like Katie suggested. I did this several times, because on my screen, Katie's to my left. But
That's where I am. You're on mine too.
Okay, cool. So that's hilarious. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're so welcome. In 30 seconds or less, out of all the great information you received today, what's one thing you can take action on?
I think I'll do the testimonials and set up a business Facebook page and get that going today.
That's so cool. Good for you. Good for you. Okay, cool.
I already started her personality trait in the chat.
Oh, awesome. We're doing this for everybody. I love it. If everyone could take a second and write down one of what they think, I guess I voiced mine for, you could like take a segment of what I just talked about you, Emily, and we can, that'll be my video testimonial for you. There you go. Smart and sweet. I think you are fun and helpful. Okay. Awesome. Power clap for Emily on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, I have video proof. We were all together.
I was first.
That's right.
Actually, I don't know. I guess it depends on the computer.
Yeah. All right, Lauren, who was up next?
We have Katie.
Awesome. Katie is last. Perfect. Katie, I'm going to put 10 minutes on the clock. Tell us what your biggest challenge is and how we can help you.
Awesome. My biggest challenge is getting people, okay, so getting myself in front of people is number one. So getting people on my table and then getting them to come back and recognizing that it's something that they need. So the self-care and coming back regularly.
Okay, cool. First question, what would you say generates the most success in getting people on your table?
Events.
Okay. On table. All right, so events. This is good. If we go back to, nope, that wasn't it. If we go back to this list here, in the form of profits, you are looking for opportunities, which is events and things that would generate the most people to be introduced to your clinic and products. So I love that. Okay, awesome. The next question I have is when you're checking them out, so not like looking them up and down, but like taking their money.
Right.
Sorry. Guys, I'm so immature. I'm so sorry. When you're checking them out, what process do you invite them to return for a follow-up or another appointment?
Right. So I have gotten better with this in the past few months, but I give them exercises and workouts that they can do right there. So I give myself 30 minutes in between each client to take the time to really get to know them. And then I will let them know kind of what's going on with their body, how long that will take to get them back to what they need, and then invite them at that point to either reschedule in 2 weeks or a month.
Awesome. This is my bread and butter, Katie. I love sales conversations. So we're going to have a good sales conversation. Before we move on, does anyone else have any clarifying questions for Katie?
Are you the only one in your whole office?
Yes. Yeah. I just rent one space. Yeah.
And then do you offer any sort of like discount passes? Like the chiropractor I go to, it's like, if you will buy this punch pass for, it was like $250 and it's giving you $10 off each visit kind of thing.
Yes.
So like buying a ton up front so that you're motivated to go back.
Yes, I do, but I don't offer that to people straight, like face to face, which I know I should be, but
it could be a little scary, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's like you're getting all of your money right now.
Yeah. When tax returns come around, that's when I go stock up at my chiropractor and that. I'm like, hey,
good to know.
I'm the same way. If I go buy a massage, I don't buy one massage. I try to get my package, which is like a 3-month package, and I pay all up front or I pay in monthly increments. And I get to go like once or twice a month or once or twice a week. And when I'm doing that, I personally look forward to the next step, which is, okay, I got my massage, I feel great. Can I go back? Because that's what couples love to do, is they love to go to get massages together. And if they can get on a plan or like a 3-month plan, they love that stuff. So this is a great time of year for that too. So creating and it's easy, Katie, it's as easy as making a punch card and just giving it to them and saying, hey, if you're looking for more opportunities, or if you're looking for more massages, I can give you this punch pass and it costs this amount, and it's the next 3 months. You can come in, 5-8 times, whatever profitable for you. Think about that. So packaging a punch pass or a membership of sorts to allow them to come in regularly.
Awesome.
Anyone else? Comments, questions, counsel? We can just jump right into counsel too.
So you're also looking for new clients, right? Have
Right.
you considered a referral incentive for people to
Yes.
bring their friends?
Yeah. So I do a referral package, or not a, I just do like, if you give me a referral, you get $10 off.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something. It might not be the best, but
Right. That $10, what kind of percentage is that? Sometimes if we hear a percentage, it makes me more likely to like, oh, that's a 25% versus $10. Or maybe $10 is the better one because it's only 5% or whatever.
right. Yeah, it's about a like 8%, I would say. So it's not, I don't know.
Well, you could advertise it, you know, $10 off $60, you know, so
Right.
that triggers your brain to be like, oh, sweet, only $50 for an hour massage.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about Lauren's idea too is if you can create a package, which Katie, you can do that today. You can create out of thin air a couple package offerings for the rest of the holiday season to give families, couples, friends, elderly people these packages, and you just figure out the numbers, what makes sense for you, what you can give away. That's packages that people can buy in advance and pay up front, and whether they show up or not, I mean, you want them to show up because you care about your clients, but whether they show up or not, you have that money up front, which is fantastic. So think about that. It's okay to offer, and it's okay to offer and sell higher priced packages up front, knowing that they've already signed up for what they're going to get later. We call it futuring. So that's a pretty cool aspect.
Well, and you could do the just a massage and then have a package too, or for like $20 more, $15 more, you could get a personal wellness visit too, you know, whatever you charge for that, like add that in there, try to upgrade them, you know.
Right.
But one thing on that, we have a printer we work with. I mean, my husband designs all sorts of stuff, but you can do like little business cards, but make them into a punch card type thing. And we have a printer that, I mean, they ship to your door. Then you could just have them there to sit, you know, or put them in your packaging or whatever. But just throwing that out there.
Awesome. Who else has counsel? And maybe there'll be counsel in the last few minutes here. I do extend into 2 minutes time for anyone who wants to share it in case I spark some ideas. But here's an idea I have for you. Okay, this is the best $1 million. You ready for this? This is $1 million sales training. Okay, Katie. There were a couple things I had ideas for. And I'll share them in just a minute. But here's sales training 101. So you can get better. I didn't say you need to. You can get better at asking. Okay, and it's as simple as looking your clients in the eyes and smiling and asking. So here's what gives you power. You ready for this? This is going to transform you. Are you ready for this? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so I know you're not a. Are you a doctor? You're a doctor? No, not a doctor. You're a clinician.
Yeah. It's not doctor. It's like licensed massage therapist. Yeah.
Okay, you're a licensed massage therapist, which technically in my eyes makes you a doctor. No one else cares. Okay, so let's pretend for a minute you're the doctor. We are all the doctor of our own craft, right? You're the doctor. And when a doctor says, I highly recommend you take this prescription, have you ever turned a doctor down?
No.
I haven't. Maybe Lauren has. I don't know, but I have never turned a doctor down. Celeste, this is good information for Celeste too, and Emily, okay? I have never turned a doctor down. So when a doctor says, I highly recommend you take these or you do this, they're more likely to do it because you said so. You're the expert. So here's how you do this. Sales Training 101 is get into the habit of saying this phrase. I recommend, and fill in the blank. Put the package here, put in the number of times you think they should come back. Be confident in what you do and say, I recommend that you do this. and give them a measurable outcome or a measurable thing that's going to help them, and then say, so would you like to do that today? Today, it's got to be today, and they can't think about it. They can't go away. Okay, would you like to do that today? So get into the habit of saying this over and over and over again. And it'll be hard the first time, but as soon as you do it a couple times, you're gonna be like, this is so easy. Oh my gosh, like, why didn't I think of this before? And I'll give myself a 2-minute timer in case anyone else has ideas. But get into the habit of saying, all right, so after today's session, I highly recommend you come back for a follow-up so that we can work out X, Y, and Z to see if the problem is fixed. Would you like to sign up for that today? Awesome. Let's set that one up. Let's get you on a follow-up, and then let's pull it up right now. Let's get it. Boom. Done. I highly recommend that you join our Punch Pass program, where you and a significant other can come for 3 months and get 10 massage. I mean, that's probably outrageous, but 10 massages for only $2,500. And we can put it on a payment plan, or we can do something special for you. Okay. Would you like to do that today? Awesome. Let's get you set up now. That's it. That's all you have to worry about. And I love it because there's no pressure. You don't feel salesy or slimy because you are the master of your craft, right? And you get to be the doctor. Even though we don't have a PhD, you are the doctor. I highly recommend. And that gives you so much power in what you do that you can recommend nail strips. You can recommend masterminds. You can recommend anything in your life, and people will be like, oh, yeah, because I trust you. You're the expert. You just worked on me, and now I'm going to get it again. So that's one thing I would like to share. Are there any other thoughts or counsel anyone would like to add to that? Go ahead, Lauren.
My thing I wrote down for you is more confidence in sales. So just remember, you're the expert in your room. They came to you for a massage. So just have the confidence in talking with them, because you know what is going on with their body, and just try to portray that with your voice and your body language. I mean, not overpowering, but in a loving, confident way. Like, hey, I care about you. I know this hurts you. You have to be in a lot of pain. Like, let me help you, kind of thing.
Right.
But
Awesome.
Before the last second here, another resource I wanted to share with you, because I know that was your original ask. I took up too much of your time. Is please, and you are welcome to come. And I know that you've signed up for. I think you signed up for the 17th or December. I can't remember. But come to as many of my upcoming masterminds, and use it as a platform to share this. And this is obviously open to Celeste and Emily as well. You guys are more than welcome to, but come to as many of my next upcoming masterminds, where you will have the opportunity to introduce what you do to people and share with them the promotions that you have. You are welcome to use my platform. My network is your network. I literally open up, this is not a real Rolodex, but I'm opening up my Rolodex to you by inviting you to come to my next events so that you can share this with people. I don't know if the Utah County one will help you as much, but maybe it will, because we're in Lehigh and it's just around the corner, maybe. But definitely the Midvale one will help you as well, because you'll have that much more access to more people who can come. And I've always learned that clinical, like massages or chiropractors do best in mastermind scenarios, because they're immediately in front of people who are like, as we're talking, my back started hurting, and I'm like, dude, she can fix me. And that's
dude, it's so funny that you just said that, because I literally, the whole time I was sitting here, I was like, dude, my back, like, there's this tweak here, and you just keep talking about massage, and that's all I want to do right now.
It's that emotion, all the emotion from this morning.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
where are you?
She's in
Holiday.
Okay.
Cool.
One other question for you, Katie. Sorry.
You're fine.
Do you work with attorneys for like car accidents and things like that?
I don't. So I'm actually meeting with a chiropractor today to do that whole thing, but an attorney is actually a really good idea.
Yeah. I know most of them you have to work with insurances, so I don't know what the back end is to get set up with that. but we have a couple personal injury attorneys that we work closely with for their clients of ours that I'd be happy to refer you to chat with.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So Lauren, connect with Katie in the chat section or after this meeting, and let's get your information so you can make those referrals. Okay, Katie, in 30 seconds or less, tell us, out of all the great information you received today, what's one thing you can take action on and that we could follow up on?
I'm going to make punch passes. So for every 6 massages that I do, they get 30 minutes added to their session. So I'm going to make those and then do a punch pass for my package deals also.
Awesome. And if you need help doing that, my team, Emily, Celeste, we're ready to help you. So if you need help with any of that, the last thing I was going to say is, now this feels kind of slimy because we've all been there, but one of the easiest ways, if you need kind of a confidence booster in getting better at sales, is if you print out your package options. If you've ever been on a cruise, or if you've ever gone on vacation, or even to a hotel and they give you the pitch, they'll pass over this like laminated folder and you like look at it and they're like, so out of all the options, which one would you like to choose today? And it's like, am I choosing the Supreme car wash, or am I going for the double bubble, or whatever it is? Like, you can always just print something off and pass it to them and say, out of all the options, which one would you prefer today? So give them an option to choose, so that's the benefit of the doubt, but it's also a great way to kind of take the sale feeling off of you and into their hands. That's another great way to do it. I've purchased off of that structure, and it might help, but I hope that's helpful. So awesome. Everybody power clap for Katie on 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. All right. Well, that does wrap up a little bit of our time with the last few minutes. And I want to, first of all, thank you guys. You've been in the chairs for an hour and 47 minutes. So thank you. We're going to wrap up this meeting. And first of all, my number one thing is I want to invite you to our in-person events if we can. I know Emily's up in Cache Valley. So Emily, we'll figure something out with you. Check your schedule. If you're able to come to an in-person, then fantastic. If not, you and I will be chatting, because I will personally, I would like to schedule within the next 60 days to get up to Cache Valley myself and have an in-person event as well. So maybe you and I can partner up and work on that together.
That'd be great.
Because it would be fun to get some people together. And I know that Cache Valley is an awesome place. The second invitation is if you're already registered, the open invitation is you're welcome to take any of the links I sent you, because I won't know any different, and go ahead and sign up for any of the other in-person or virtual experiences. Because I would like to follow up on the progress of the things that you said you're going to do today. I'd like to personally invite you back on, I think it's December 1st or 3rd. I can't remember what the date is off the top of my head. I'm going to turn my timer off so I can look at my phone. There we go.
December 1st.
That's it, December 1st. Yep, the first Tuesday of November. So if you would like to come back, that would be awesome. And just let me know if you have any conflicts or if you'd like to be there. All offers are on the table. Please come to any of the upcoming events throughout the rest of the year. And I'd like to extend to any of you membership to the Champion Circle. And I'd like to talk to each of you individually about what that looks like, so we can talk about that later. But we do have a networking association that meets every month. And then in between that, we also do networking events. Like, we go and do really fun things. Like we rented out a American Ninja Warrior stadium, and we played a big giant Nerf gun war there. I've rented out all of Provo Beach. We've done laser tag, the ropes course. We've even just played in the ball pits before. But we do a lot of fun stuff. And one of my favorite things to do is to connect on the emotions, or to connect on the recreational emotions and experiences that are elicited as we have fun together. And I already, in 90 minutes or less, feel so close to the three of you, having never spoken or having very little time, because how much fun it is to just serve other people. And I hope you felt that, and I hope you feel that as well. And I feel like we've already kind of created some accountability partnerships. Lauren's going to follow up with Katie and Emily, and Celeste is going to connect with Emily and so forth. So there's already these accountability partnerships that have been built. And I love that, because that's so valuable in the power of connections. And remember what we said today. You might walk away from today's meeting, either have made money, have the idea that's going to give you more money, or you're going to be able to have a solution to your problem. So I'm going to go back to our document here, and I want you to write this phrase. And you're going to do this. You're going to say, why is it so easy to? And in the first blank, you're going to write the challenge that you brought up today. Why is it so easy to? And you're going to bring up that challenge. And when you write that down and you repeat this aloud, you will now have the power vested in you to overcome any challenge. Why is it so easy? Why is it so easy to not fear what other people think and to do what I do best by having fun and serve other people? Why is it so easy to get more clients on my table? Why is it so easy? Why is it so easy to build a business and a brand that will lead to $10,000 a month? Why is it so easy to do this? And it changes your mindset a little bit. It changes the paradigm on the challenge and now on the solution. I have all the solutions right in front of me. It's right there. All right, did everyone get this phrase written down? Okay, good. And if you didn't, that's okay. I will make sure that we get it. But I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate this time. Now, this is a virtual setting. We had fun. We did some good things. You're all going to make more money because of what we talked about today, which is even more fun. Think about what we do in person too, at our in-person events. We do this, but in a bigger scenario, in a bigger sense. We play games, we have experiences, we breathe the same air, COVID free. We're filled with all this excitement. And you walk away with pages upon pages upon pages of notes and resources and opportunities. And that's my favorite part about the Mastermind. And all together with everything that we learned and gained today, you now have a list of things you can turn to if you're ever stuck. You now have a list of things you can do in case you ever need an idea. And you have a group of people who you'll never forget. You'll never forget Katie or Emily or Lauren or Celeste or Gina and the advice. You'll never forget the things that they did because we did one thing. We helped each other. And I love that. That's my favorite piece of a mastermind. So if this was magical for you as it was magical for me, I know that we could continue to do magical things together and find more ways to help each other as we help others. Did you see how that magic worked? I want to turn it back to you guys before we close out and get out of here and go eat our lunches, but tell me what your feedback was, how you were helped when you helped others. Does anyone have any ideas, suggestions, or counsel on that? How were you helped when you helped others?
I mean, specifically with Emily and her blockages, like as a woman coming into sales and trusting other people and giving parts of your business away to other people and not trying to take control of all of that. That's a huge mental block, I think, for all of us, really.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Katie. Anyone else?
I know I learned a lot from everyone's suggestions to other people too, and I've written down things like, oh yeah, I could utilize that too. So
I have a story about that. In my first mastermind ever, Emily, I was trying to build a business, and out of all the suggestions that people were sharing for other candidates, I had this brilliant idea. I was like, I'm going to write my own book. And it didn't even come from helping or being helped. It just being in the room with people. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm being called to write a book right now. I'm being called to coach people. I'm being called to do all these things. And it didn't come from any of the things I said or that was being said to me. It just, like you said, it was being in the room. So, oh gosh, the way I said that just sparked, if you guys are musical lovers,
Yes, me too. Hamilton.
Yeah,
I just want to be
Hamilton.
in the room where it happened. Yep.
That's right.
Same thing.
So you're in the room where it happens. That's awesome. I love that. Anyone else? Any other thoughts before we wrap up?
I'm just glad I got to know all of you better. So
Yeah, same.
and I look forward to chatting more.
Yes.
So here are the logistics. I will send a follow-up email highlighting some of the things you guys were talking about and what are the things that we discussed. And I will also share my personal contact information. If you want to reach out to anyone else for the light of privacy, if you wanted to connect with other people, do so in the chat section. Or if you're like, hey, I wanted to connect with Emily, but I just didn't want to do it in person. Could you connect me? I'm there for you as well. So I'll be your mediator there. And then I'll also provide you some links if you want to come to the upcoming events. But I look forward to following up with you guys. I hope to see you again in 4 weeks. And I'd like to connect earlier than that. So I'll probably reach out to you and have a follow-up phone call or just chat or discussion. If it helps you and if it helps your business, I would also like to extend the offer to have every single one of you featured on my podcast. I have a podcast called The Circle of Knowledge where I do 30-minute interviews. And in that segment, I highlight you. I'm a master interviewer, and I highlight you and your business and what you do, and you can use that as marketing material. My podcast has over 20,000 listeners worldwide, so I don't know how that helps you locally, but it's definitely kind of fun to get out there and put your word out there and to share some of your knowledge and what you know and believe. And so I'd like to offer that as well. You will see that how to do that and how to sign up for that in the follow-up email that I'll send you here today. And so if that's of interest to you to go on a platform and talk about your business and your service, I'd be happy to highlight you on my podcast. So that's how I can best give back in a small amount of time, and also to try and invest in much of you as possible with the resources that we have. But I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And it's just been such a pleasure to spend this time with you. In the last few seconds here, I would love to take a screenshot photo and share it with my community of the mastermind session that we had today. So if you guys don't mind, and if you don't want to, then just, I don't know, blank your screen or whatever. It's okay. I won't be offended. But if you want to take just a second, I'm going to get the screen prep ready. And Gina, you're excluded from this because I know you won't be on video today, but if you want to give me a smile and a wave, and I'm gonna take a picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Thank you so much. And again, in my email, I think I sent last night, I'll send this to Celeste, but if you would like to join our Facebook community, this is a small private group of people who love to network. And if you're cool with that, we have other people who are doing this every single day, connecting, sharing resources, having ideas, and keeping each other accountable. Where BNI and some of these other incredible networking associations measure their success on the ability to share referrals, we measure our success on how much action you take and how much you actually fulfill your goals. We are an accountability networking association called the Champion Circle. So I want to thank you all. Thank you so much, Emily. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Ty, Lauren. Thank you, Celeste. Thank you, Gina, for being here. We appreciate you. Please look for my text messages and emails. I'll be following up with you, and we'll be looking forward to another conversation. Everyone have a wonderful rest of your day. I love you. Goodbye. Have a wonderful day, and go conquer.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
See everybody, and I'll stop recording.